And we are live. Welcome, everyone. ChatGDG episode number 35 with not a guest, a returning guest this time. Our amazing friend Raphael. Thank you so very much for being here with us.
Thank you, man. Thank you for having me back again.
Yeah, no problem. With pleasure, because I think you've been guest like episode number 4 or something. So talking about slightly longer than a year back. It was like
Yeah,
13 months back or something like that. So what I found very interesting, especially with you, that's been a busy year for you. You've been up quite a few things. So when I've interviewed you first, you were director of engineering for time
time
shift
shift. Yeah.
at Zendesk company. Cool,
Mm,
doing your good stuff. Now, fast forward a year. Now you are the director of engineering for Zendesk. So, just good change there. Amazing.
yeah.
We'll
Oof.
there. Yes, big move. But also, I mean, many people would say, okay, that's fine. But what's not fine with you because you are now a book writer, career certified career coach. You've been doing career sessions. So you've been up to a lot of things. And also, by the way, little reminder to the people that you've got also a busy life, a busy family life, a big family,
That's
which is
true.
great. So,
That's true.
first thing first, if you don't mind to reintroduce yourself for the people that don't know you, and then we will take it from there.
Sure, sure. Thank you, man. So I'm Rafael. I currently based in Portugal, but I am originally from Brazil. As Stefano mentioned, the first time that I was here, I was working as a director of engineering at TimeShift. Post 1 year, 1 year and something post acquisition. Here am I once again director of engineering at Zendesk now. But this year was quite different for me because I also had the opportunity to take 3 months, a sabbatical leave of 3 months, where I kind of honed the coaching
Mm.
desire that I had, and I wrote the book, another book coming soon. Busy life with the kids. I have 4 kids for those that don't know this about this fun fact yet. So I have
Yeah.
4 little monsters, and yeah, and I'm getting more and more engaged with the tech community and doing exploring these two hidden passions that I had, which is the coaching and the writing thing. The writing, it was quite surprising to see this project come into life. To be honest,
Okay, so now it's like so many things that I don't even know where to start. Let's start with the easy way. Let's start with just work. Boring work. Okay. So now I just double checked your LinkedIn. So you moved, if I'm not mistaken, to SEM role, senior engineering manager at Zendesk for a little while. So how was the first, part of this transition?
yeah, this part was interesting because with the acquisition we had to adjust basically all the roles for the time shift organization at Zendesk, and as a consequence of that, especially on the leadership team, we got all the roles one step further and one back, and I
Yeah.
ended up as senior engineering manager, which is really awesome. But in terms of like daily basis, I kept doing everything that I was doing before at time shift, but for sure with a broader range of impact and collaboration with different teams at Zendesk. But the way that I would identify or even maybe define these two changes here, it's in terms of strategic impact. Because while I was working as a senior engineering manager, my focus was too much on the WFM, the workforce management project
Mm.
as a whole, like the time shifts product
Yeah.
basically.
Yeah.
But within the team itself, within that specific domain, and going one step ahead now as director of engineering, I am still doing exactly the same thing for the WFM project, but it's interesting to see how the umbrella has opened in such an expected and pleasant way. For instance, now I am engaged more discussing about security stuff, compliance, DSP data security policies, a lot of stuff, So, and it's interesting to balance the impact when comparing what I was doing previously as senior engineering manager, which at some degree was impacting only the WFM organization, but now the outcome and the impact, it's not only for the WFM, but also as a representative of the WFM within the larger organization, especially on the engineering organization at Zendesk. A very simple example, we are talking now about renewing our SOC 2 certification. And the renewal of SOC 2 certification is no longer WFM, it's Zendesk. So if we fail, everyone fails. And this is applicable for every project.
No, no
So
pressure there, huh?
no pressure, no pressure. But the biggest change that I would say it's how strategically the role became and how broad the collaboration with other teams became.
Interesting. So I guess you've acquired or you've discovered new stakeholders. I would imagine with this
Oh, a
change,
lot,
right?
many of them.
Many of them. Interesting. So yeah, no, that's a very interesting change because of course the impact is bigger, everything's bigger. Yeah, interesting. Like how big is your team now?
Currently, considering only the engineering team, we are probably around 70. So we came from 33, 35 people within
Okay.
the engineering organization. And in the last 18 months, we have scaled more than 70%. So right now, considering EM leadership plus
Yeah.
our IC track on the engineering team, we are around 70 people.
Wow, yeah, 70 people is not a small feat, just to understand. And I guess that a few EMs or a few tech leads, they directly report to you. And then,
Yeah.
of course, they will manage their own teams. Like, just out of, curiosity, how many teams do you have? You have a
We
pod
have,
system, a tribe system?
yeah, we work with squads, with cross-functional squads, and basically each squad represents a specific context within the platform, within the product. Currently, we are splitting one of the teams now. We are going to 8 teams, if I'm not mistaken, 7 or 8 teams, something like that.
Okay, interesting. And all of these teams are within the, domain, clearly.
Yes, we have within the WFM
Yeah,
domain.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Mhm.
Interesting. And then how do you think? Okay, it's pretty clear that there has been pretty interesting and big change in terms of stakeholders and also peers, people you have to deal with. But also, do you think that your leadership job, if that makes sense, because I remember clearly that you've always been a great advocate of being human centric, product centric, you really believe in this. Like how and if that changed or
It changed in a way that you need to become even more role model for the position.
mm,
For instance, my team grew in 3 new engineering managers. So from the team of the leadership team that I was leading, comparing to the previous one, I have 3 new managers. One came as a promotion, senior to leader. Another one I promoted from another area, like the cell, Zendesk cell, to the WFM, and another one, actually 4 engineering managers. And the
oh,
other 2 I brought externally. And we have a couple of changes here, challenges, because at some point you have people that are used to work with you, with your philosophy, in the way that you raise the bar and like your expectations. But at the same point, you have fresh blood, which is awesome.
yeah,
But this fresh blood like despite all the innovation that they bring in terms of team dynamics and overall for the company, we still need to be guided by our core principles. And being the representative of the WFM organization at Zendesk, I have exactly these two huge expectations that you just mentioned. Everyone in my team have a voice. They matter. Everyone needs to be followed closer, to have a professional development plan, that we are creating career opportunities, and at the same time that we are empowering people so they can experiment and they can grow. It's part of the business, it's the growth pain. You cannot learn, you cannot
Yeah.
grow if you just do the right thing.
Amazing.
And at the same time, you have a different challenge, which is because half of the team basically is new. You start identifying some blind spots that you missed before, because maybe you get so used with some bad habit or a leadership approach that you thought that it was working, but it was not that much working as you expected. So in terms of exposure for the good and for the bad, it was huge. It was huge. And that's exactly the intersection where my role in this team comes to life, because I need to be the role model, regardless of the challenge, regardless of the cultural change that we are passing through, the momentum. I am the responsible for setting these principles, to helping the team to embrace those principles. So it's quite interesting. It's quite interesting. It's exhausting at some point,
Mm.
but it helped me, for instance, to master, I would say, in terms of delegation, in terms of how I was trusting on my team to get not only the trivial things like the tactical things to cross the finish line, but currently I delegate a lot of many strategic initiatives for the EMs, because I just don't have time. Like, if you open my calendar, the desire it's just to hug me and say, "Oh man, I feel for you."
Pat, pat.
Yeah.
Yes, I feel that, bro. Yeah. Yeah, all of that is absolutely very interesting. One question though, like, especially because what you said, I'm also a big believer of, it's good to keep working with the same people, a lot of trust, a lot of, but it's also really good to bring in external people.
Yeah.
You need that different and external viewpoint, if that makes sense.
Hmm.
There was maybe one or more than one thing that someone else external brought into the team, brought into this either set of values or maybe a ways of working, something that came unexpected that you say, this is cool, we can
Hmm.
implement this.
Yeah, I can mention, and if this person is hearing here, Andrew,
Hmm.
shout out to you. Sorry for putting you on the spotlight here, but for instance, Andrew was working at Zendesk in another organization, and he brought something very interesting for the team, which was first his approach for holding everyone accountable, which I
Okay.
love.
Yeah,
Like I
cool.
love to work with people that will challenge me. It's not because I am leading an organization that I am the right person for everything. No, I want people to challenge me and to
Mm.
also to hold me accountable. And another thing was which which is attached with this customer centricity, like creating a strong bond with our customer support team. So we have established some internal procedures, for example, not only to improve our first time to response,
Mm.
to enable the advocacy team and etc., but an approach that actually helped us to identify the most burning topics coming from directly from the customers, in
Okay.
which sometimes we didn't have enough visibility, or the process that we had before was not good enough to provide the kind of insights that we are having now. And it was someone internally with an internal procedure that he created or he executed as part of his previous team. And he just came and said, "Oh man, maybe we should try something different here, because we are getting too much friction, and These
Mm.
things are just getting escalated all the time. I said, why not? Let's do a POC. Like,
Mm.
establish the process in your team, and then show me the results, and let's make it happen. If it makes sense to implement in other teams, let's make it happen. And today we have like an internal incident flow. Like every week, someone in every team, in a weekly basis, this we have people responsible just for collaborating directly with our support team. So uh, uh, this interaction that we were missing before,
Yeah.
or were not that stronger before, we have now visibility, and we have this visibility because we had someone coming externally and pointing this to us. So it's really awesome. It's really awesome.
Yeah, that's pretty cool actually, right? Especially the flagging the issue, trust the person, POC is working, and then rolling this model out
Yep.
to other squads and within a decent time frame. I guess that like just what metrics did you use in order, because I guess you at some point you need to get buy-in from someone at
Hmm.
maybe a higher level. So what did you say to these people, like we are going to improve that thing by such and such?
Yeah. The first thing, it's just you go to the escalation point, right? Because you are just picking resources that could be used for feature
Mm.
development,
Yep.
which directly or indirectly will affect revenue. And now we are picking people, time, people, and etc. to canalize to do other stuff. But what people actually miss during the as part of the measuring this is customer health, the customer health, like how is the level of happiness with time shift with the WFM team? What is the level of feature adoption? What is the level of incidents that we have? Because like something that could go through a flow where we didn't notice and become an incident. And now we are not only being proactive, but we are also mitigating some situations to escalate, you know? So first, the first thing here is to translate the initiative in a way that the business understand. That's my ethos. If we cannot explain what we are trying to do from the technical front
Mm.
in a business using business words, I think we shouldn't be doing what we are planning to do.
Mm.
So the first thing was to identify how to go to the upper leadership and say, okay, I am taking capacity from the feature development team because I want to dedicate time for this. But I will dedicate time for this because I am noticing that we have a lot of customers complaining about similar issues. The platform, it's kind of flaky. Our defect rate, it's not in the
Mm.
same range that we
Mm.
would like to have, you know. The collaboration with the support team is not getting, like, it's not crossing the finish line. I am seeing a lot of severity 3 incidents coming, which is an escalation point basically. And then you make people realize that, oh, maybe this should be something beneficial for us, we should give it a try. And then you need to do this exercise for different levels. Like once you have convinced the upper leadership, it's now time to convince the product folks, you know, and to understand, because to prioritize something, we need to collaborate with product, you know. And the lower level, I would say, the base of the pyramid, which would be the engineering team. At this point, we need to be very clear about the benefits, the implications, like to reduce the burden from people getting into the schedule from, oh shit, I have to do everything that I am doing, and now one more responsibility.
Yeah.
You know, so just to create this safer, this safe, this feeling of it's not like that, you know. I know that you are on duty for this week, so your priority is this. If you have something coming deriving from this skill, that's your priority. leave everything that you are doing and just focus on what we really need to focus. So I really like to do an empathy map exercise, which you try as much as possible to first see how people, questions that people will ask, how people will feel, the frictions that, the feelings that people will have along the way, and then this will structure and help you a lot with all this change management process, you know. And the most important principle that I see here in this case or in any other case that we have implemented something different, it's to create a group that will support you. Because like I really love how Simon Sinek put I just forgot the name of the innovation something, the principle of innovation something,
Yeah,
where
yeah,
you
yeah.
focus on the early adopters and you are
Mm.
progressing slowly. So you need to have this group that will understand, this group that you will back your idea, will try, will provide you feedback, and will serve as a like a supporting network when the real implementation comes. So I think this is very important. It's not just creating a process and implementing the process. It's trying to first include people as much as possible and translating these in different layers using different approaches so you can just create this connection with different people, you know.
Yeah, and also different people at different levels, they speak different languages. So you
Exactly.
need to translate. It's a translation exercise, if that makes
Yeah.
sense, to bundle up the, because what you're doing, you are selling a vision, right?
Exactly.
Selling a
Exactly.
vision, upstarts, of course, you got to have buy-in, but then oftentimes people underestimate how important it is to sell the exact same vision, maybe worded slightly differently, downstairs, because at the end of the day, the engineers or the people, the ICs are, these guys are the one doing the job.
Exactly.
So at the end
Exactly.
of the day, it's not a top-down approach. Hey, a new process, deal with it. Hey, a new process, we're doing this because X, Y, and Z is important, blah, blah, blah. How can we do that?
Yeah.
And just make them buy into the vision. This
Yeah.
is what it is.
And it's interesting because along the way you will have people that disagree with you and we will push back the same way, you know,
Yeah.
which is completely okay. But here you mentioned something very interesting. You can mandate, like, that's the process. I don't care what you think about this, just do
Hmm.
it. The success rate you can imagine, super high, right?
Yeah, right. 100%.
And, and you have the other approach where you play for transparency, you play for purpose, because people like the purpose. Like,
Yeah.
maybe I can play on the disagree and commit because I understand the value behind this. And this is purpose, period. You know, you can lead with purpose where you let people know the reasons and what is relevant for them to know why you made that choice, or you just can mandate. I usually prefer the first one.
Yeah, exactly. The success rate is teeny tiny higher,
Yeah,
that just
just
a
a little
little
bit.
bit. And also very interesting because Jeff Bezos measure things is important, metrics are important, but you got to measure the right things.
Yeah, I agree.
That's oftentimes also is overlooked. Like this probably was in the example that you gave, was a metric that perhaps was not there or was not look at the level that it should be. Now we move the spotlight on these things. Let's see how can get better at that. And I believe now that's a in integral metric that you guys use because you saw the value, if that makes
Hmm.
sense.
Yeah, makes total
100%.
sense. Yeah.
100%. Okay, that's pretty interesting. Yeah, so big team, growing, new stakeholder, new challenges, and yeah, just keep learning pretty much, right?
Yeah,
This is what
that's the
we do.
ethos.
This
That's
is
the
what we
ethos.
do. Yeah, exactly. Okay, so and that's work. Easy. Now, moving on to spicy stuff. So, once again, a year back, work, family, good,
Crazy, right?
crazy,
So
amazing. Yeah. But then couple of things happened. So clearly, you mentioned coaching. Of course, coaching has
Mhm.
been always, especially for someone in a leadership role. I mean, position. You should be coaching for during your work, if that makes sense, right? Because that probably is the best way of managing people. And then also, writing. Now, what changed? Like how from probably not from one day to the other, but what made you do, okay, I really want to take these two things seriously, quote unquote.
Mhm. So, 3 months ago, 4 months ago, I would say, like back 1 year,
Yeah.
I always had this desire of mentoring and etc. Last year was pretty insane because I had the baby,
Mm,
and then I was with a very tight deadline to deliver the manuscript for the book. So last year was way, and the acquisition.
yeah.
Last year was way more just nurturing this desire to put a lot of effort on coaching and mentoring and etc. But like by till end of January, I was super focused on delivering the book. The thing is, 3 months ago, 4 months ago now, I had the opportunity to take a sabbatical leave. Zendesk has a policy of 4 months paternity leave.
Mm,
And because we were during the acquisition, I just took 1 month and made an agreement to take the rest of the days in a better timing.
mm,
The time came, by the way. And I took 3 months completely offline of the work. And I realized that I was suffering miserably from my health, my
mm,
mental health,
yeah.
you know. And it was a great opportunity to introspect on that year about everything that happened at Time Shift and getting acquired by Zendesk, baby, the priorities basically,
Mm, mm,
And while I was thinking about Zendesk, I came across like putting on a paper some stats. And basically, we have hired 20 something people in 1 year
mm,
with a completely revamped process, like adopting debatable things that I debatable decisions that I had to make. But anyway, but the thing is, when I was reflecting about the hiring process, Stefano, like 20 open positions, the average of 300 candidates per position. You can imagine how many CVs I have reviewed and how many interviews I have done in the past year with my team. But one thing always bothered me, like
mm,
when I was looking to those stats. Tech people, the majority of tech people, they think being tech it's enough to do stuff, to get a new job, to get a promotion. Just the technical expertise, it's enough. Like I have a CV saying that I have 10 plus years
mm,
experience working with the most sophisticated techs, and all of a sudden you have this person in your like face to face, and you can't go around other than discussing microservices
mm,
or extremely technical things. And I said, okay. And all of a sudden, as my audience, because I started creating more and more content on LinkedIn, I saw some growth in my audience. I think like
mhm,
natural. And I just realized that the number of people open to work or getting laid off or
yeah.
seeking for a promotion and just not getting there or complaining about leadership and something like that. And I said, okay, I have 16, 17 years of experience. I played as a candidate and I am dedicated. I have dedicated probably more than 10 years as a hiring manager. What did I do exactly
Mm,
to get there? Why did I have this outcome? And then I started putting in a paper. And I decided, okay, it's time to give back to my community. I never had a mentor throughout my career, and I had that free time. I had some knowledge. I was fresh. Why not? And then I launched an initiative like I will I will help 12 people
Mm.
in 3 months. Like in my mind, I was doing the math like three, four per month should be enough, you know. And I ended up coaching probably 18 people
Even more. Wow.
for free, you
Yeah.
know, which was really nice because I never had this opportunity to give back to the community as I had now. And I have created so many great relationships, you know. I have heard so many drastic stories.
Mm, 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 mm.
It really gave me the opportunity to reflect on my life, on my priorities, and my daily basis complaints, you know. It was very interesting. And then, but this was like the sparkle to say, damn, I love doing this. That's what I want to do, you know. And the last couple of months, I started promoting. I have three coaching session, three coaching programs. Actually, one it's like a subscription based where we will identify your goal and we will work together towards that goal. The second one, it's like for leadership. It's a leadership program, mainly for aspiring leaders, like people coming from a senior position as an IC,
Mm, mm,
want
mm.
to move to a leadership position. What the hell is being a leader? How can I become a leader? You know, I became a leader. What should I do next? So
Yeah.
it's a program dedicated to help people
That
seeking for a leadership
that's a
position.
very specific problem, right? People
Yeah,
don't understand
yeah,
how,
yeah.
it's very specific,
Yeah,
this one.
yeah. And it's interesting to see the number of people that became a leader
Mm,
and just asked to go back to the IC track because they want to become a leader because maybe it's fancy to
yeah.
have a nice title, you know. The salary it's better. I don't know. The level of influence, the level of the opportunity to inspire people, but very often we have some hidden traits from leadership, I would say,
Mm, 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 mm.
that people just avoid talking about that. And this is a program to make a conscious decision to become a leader. What the heck is becoming a leader and what should I do? So I do this intentionally and I become just a great leader, not just someone that is trying to become a leader, you know. The third program, which is strictly related to this experience that I had during my sabbatical, which focus on helping people that is seeking for a new job, for a promotion, for career advancement, and they just don't know how to do this, or they are just tactical and don't prepare enough for interviews.
Mm, mm.
And in this program, the way the syllabus I would put
Mhm.
like that is to reframe completely the way that you will seek for a new job. You will transition from the tactical approach, that traditional one, a generic CV, like I want to prepare, I just go there and I will nail all the interviews. And I will focus like on your preparation to identify your values, your worth, what is the desired salary that you have in mind, what kind of markets, what are the blockers that you want to avoid during the interview. I am getting too many messages on LinkedIn. How can I filter those messages so I can just put my energy on what really matters,
Mm, mm.
validating salary, validating culture, and etc. And the last bit of this program, it's the Strive framework that I have developed, which is
Mm.
a combination of 6 principles that you can use regardless of the interview step that you are doing, which is tailor your stay calm and relax, tailor your communication to be understood, rapport building, identify and highlight your strengths, visualize the end goal, and express your thoughts clearly. By the time that you master these 6 principles, like nothing can hold you. If it's a technical interview, if it's a cultural interview, a behavioral interview, just apply the framework and you will see the values. Just a fun fact,
Mm-hmm.
as we were mentioning in the backstage, I am someone that cannot have my mind that much empty.
Mm-hmm.
And to validate this idea, this coaching model, during my sabbatical, I have applied for 20 positions in 45 days. So I did, yes, 20 positions in 45 days. And half of them I just did the generic approach, like generic CVs, generic messages. I got rejected in all of them. From the 10 left, I have applied like a part of the framework, not the strive part, but preparing and etc. I have progressed in a few of them, but ended up getting rejected. And in 4 interviews, in 4 hiring processes, I got 6-digit of offers in 4 of them. So I took 10 to apply the working model. From this 10, 6 I applied the entire framework, and from 6, 4 resulted in a 6-digit offer. So it works. You just need to know how to pitch yourself, and this is exactly for to break this barrier, to break this bad habit that tech professionals have,
Mm-hmm.
that you need to go beyond tech. If you want to thrive, you need to acquire different skills. Tech is not enough anymore. So this is
That,
in a nutshell.
yeah, that's very interesting. Also, I didn't know that that was, a test drive.
It
You
was.
apply, okay, is this working? I think that is working, but is this working?
Yeah.
Let's apply that. Interesting. So, did you have also, comments from the people that you mentor or you coached that, hey, I was keep having rejections. I try apply this, and now things are getting better.
Yeah. I am currently working with 3 people specifically in this program. I launched the program 20 days ago. I think I
Brand
dropped
new.
it last week. Yeah, it's very new. Last week, I dropped the first video talking about the Strive framework, for instance. And I am working with 3 people, between 2 and 3 weeks. And these people already started getting interviews using this approach. Because the thing is, it's not just the interview, Stefano. You need to create your brand. So
Yeah.
it touches the bases on your CV. It touches the bases on preparing your LinkedIn, learning how to receive and to drop messages to others. It's not just an interview. It's a strategic planning. And I already started getting some feedback that people using and started getting traction and getting messages from hiring managers and tech recruiters, which is really nice. It's a really nice feedback to hear.
Yeah, absolutely. Not just because you have proved the point. Wait, okay, this is working. Hey, just not just me, it's working for other people, but also by doing that, you are helping other people because we know that the market is still a little bit of a struggle. We are
Mm.
is still is little bit better, but there is long way until we get to the 2021, 22, where it was the hottest market ever. So now people have, problems, right? So I've same as you, every now and then in my LinkedIn feed, I've got maybe people that I don't even know, but I see this random person say it's been 5, 6, 7 months
Yeah.
that I don't have a job. So it's a
It's painful.
problem. It's a
It's
problem.
painful.
It's
Yeah.
painful. It's a problem. So it would be, yeah, I think they need all the help that they can get because it's still not a nice moment. So that's actually pretty cool. So you've got also a website, right? So you've done your personal website, which is a landing page kind of thing, just when
Yeah.
people.
Yeah. This landing page came last year, and it
Mhm.
was focused more on the leadership part of the program. So it's a landing page dedicated for the leadership coaching program. At the moment, I am building the career advancement one. I still don't have an ETA to launch this, but it's work in progress.
Mm.
But yeah, from there you have the contact section, which regardless of the service that you need, the
Yeah,
only
of course.
question that I do there, it's what do you expect from this session? Tell me your case, because as you can imagine, like working 9 to 5 and
Yeah.
4 kids, I need to be very intentional in the people that I
Mm,
choose
mm,
to
mm, mm.
coach, because I don't have that much time. And the time that I have to put on the coaching, it's like to provide the best experience, because I treat my mentees as I would like to be treated. And therefore I cannot have like 10 people at the same time. The idea here it's not to make money, you know.
No, yeah, 100%. And then, of course, the amount of time that you have, you need to value that time in order for you, for
Exactly.
yourself, for the people. You want them to, get the job done, if that makes sense. So, and that's the next question is, of course, the question that everyone is asking you. Okay, once again, full-time job, big family, 4 kids, book, another book. Like, what's the like? You've definitely mastered the time management concept, right? Because this is something that many people, struggle with. People
Yeah.
say, I don't have enough time, which oftentimes means I don't know how to manage my time. Because guess what? Even Elon Musk, he has 24 hours, not 25, 24. So,
Yeah. That's a good one.
yeah, right?
So, uh, that's a very interesting one, and indeed it's a hot topic that I get, a hot question.
Mm-hmm.
And what people, first, I don't have any special ability or something like that. What I do have, it's a very mature second brain that I created to support my needs. So I think people fail on time management because first they try to find time, and because you try to find time, you are not committing yourself to make things that you are planning to do. My philosophy is I create time. So I don't find, I create time, but I create time for what will move the needle.
Mm-mm.
And the way that I do this, like this is available, it's a free resources. If you go to my LinkedIn profile,
Yep.
you will have there on my featured section the link to download the second brain. This is something public. And I read many productivity books.
Mm.
Pomodoro,
Yeah.
Eisenhower, too many approaches. But the thing is, I always struggled to implement one approach. And all of a sudden, I had very good insights from one strategy that I didn't have with others, and vice versa. At the end,
Yep.
I had a bunch of breadcrumbs coming from different productivity approaches, and I said, okay, I will create my own based on everything that I heard.
Yep.
Creating my own doesn't mean that I created a new productivity model. No, far from this. I just created a model that works for me, that helps me to identify what are my primary tasks, what are my secondary tasks based on the RASI matrix, like if I am accountable, responsible, informed, or consulted, the Eisenhower matrix, if it's urgent, if it's important, or not
Mm-hmm.
urgent. If I introduce the frog, a concept there as well. So at the end of the day, like imagine that you have a project, you are brainstorming a project, and by the
No.
way, you have a practical example on the on the free resource that I provided there,
Okay. Nice.
which is the incident management process that we have prepared for Zendesk during the acquisition.
Yep.
In a very quick context,
Yeah. Yeah.
we had to implement a 24/7 service support on the engineering team. We didn't have that.
The on call, I mean, rota, pretty
The
much.
on call, exactly.
Yep.
And the estimate time to implement that was between 8 months and 1 year. And I said, okay, that's too much. And all of a sudden, I had 7 months, like from 8 to 1 year. I had 6 or 7 due to compliance. I said, okay, I need to to cut the work in the half. And then I started putting everything during a brainstorm session, just creating tasks. I need to do this, and that. What is the level of importance? What is the level of urgency? If it's an eat the frog, if require focus, if it's an easy task, and etc. And what is my role in this task?
Mm.
And then I had a very revealing perspective, I would say, which the entire project, like I had spared almost 50% of my time. Like instead of implementing by myself, I just focused on what was identified as my primary task and my
Mm.
secondary task. Like primary task, huge impact, value driven, and etc. Secondary task, it will move the needle, but I don't have to rush to get it solved. But the interesting thing is the approach that I have created on this second brain, it tells me what is a distraction and we should remove,
Mm.
and what is passive for delegation. So all of a sudden, I had an entire project telling me, okay, you need to execute this, next, this. For these tasks, you will delegate to this person, you will follow up this day, and all the rest you just remove because this is creating distraction
Noise.
for the team.
Yeah.
So I was able to implement this and to improve my productivity more or less by 40-50%. And
Which is
it's
huge.
huge. It was huge. So I did this not in a that much structured way to write the book and etc. And another important thing that I do here is, okay, it's like a fancy to-do list and etc. But I can
Mm.
control my projects, my personal goals, my professional goals, all the notes that I have to take, like one-on-ones and etc. I can centralize in a single place. But the most important here, it was, I don't make a distinction about what is my professional responsibility and my personal responsibility on this list, in this system. So, for instance, if I open my second brain right now, you will see as a primary task for my week, pay the monthly bills. It's something that I need to create time
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
understand what I need to pay and pay, period. So it's not a professional thing. It's not a private life thing. It's something that I really need to have side by side to move the needle, to cross the finish line, because otherwise I can't do this. Like it's not a magic thing.
Mm-mm.
It's not like that I mastered the time management or something like that. I just have a good system behind me to back my decisions. You know?
Yeah, and also all this talk about how did you came about the second brain concept?
Yeah, the first attempt that I did, it was inspired by Tiago Fortes. Tiago, it's like the father of the second brain.
Okay.
So while I was traveling to Serbia, where the majority of my team is based, like it's 12, 13 hours trip, and I just consumed
13
prob
hours.
yeah, because I have some scales and etc. Some
Ah, okay,
stops.
okay, okay, yeah, yeah, okay, okay.
Okay. So and I prefer to do some crazy hours, like I
Mm,
start traveling 2 a.m. and
okay.
just to have better seats and etc. But anyway,
Uh,
uh, and Tiago, I consumed a lot Tiago's content, like the cold approach, the second brain, how he managed everything, and like going from just a personal life organizer to
mm,
giving consulting to Google on how to boost their engineers' productivity. So this was the inspiration, everything that was created by Tiago, his book and his YouTube channel, served as an inspiration for me to come with this idea.
interesting. And then how can you explain if you have got someone in front of you? Hey, I don't know what you're talking about. Second brain, what? How can
Yeah,
you give an explanation? That makes sense, which is clear of what
yeah.
it is.
I like to think second brain as a planner. Like some people like to write in a paper what they they need to do, or you have an agenda to control your events, or you have a bunch of post-its in your computer screen, you know.
Yep.
And the second brain, basically, it's a system that will centralize all of these smaller pieces, so you have everything that you need in a single place. And first, in a researchable mode, like you can easily find whatever you are looking for because it preaches like categories and areas and etc. And basically it fosters the reusability. So for
Mm,
instance, I can use something, a piece of information that I used on my incident management process to create the on-call process, because I have this note there attached with relevant context. I am just extracting and picking. So the way that I see the second brain, it's this central place. It's a box where you will put all
mm.
your post-its, you will put all your journaling pages and etc. So it's your safe vault, I would say. You know,
In
and whenever you bring back the safe vault, you ask for something, and the vault will be segmented in a way to optimize
exactly.
your outcome, I would say.
Yeah, so in a searchable way, in a organized way, it's not just chucking things there and then good
Exactly.
luck. I think that
Exactly.
that's probably the most important thing you've got, because it's not that difficult to put everything in a single place. Yeah, sure, but then it's like an ocean of, okay, I don't even know what's there. I don't even, if yeah, I might have put that thing a year ago, God knows where, you know
Exactly.
what I mean?
Exactly.
So the what's the word? The ability to cherry pick exactly what you need, you can extract that thing, and then you can expand that to become something different. You can, yeah, that's, I think, is the true power
Yeah, I agree. I agree.
of that, 100%. And then also clearly that really helped you in terms of time management. Is just a way,
Oh,
it's not just time management, it's also mind manager. You got to clear your brain first.
yeah, yeah.
You need to be focused, you
That's
need to have the right priorities, and you need to, yeah, I mean, come up
yeah.
with something that works for you. What works for you is not working for me, so
Exactly. Exactly. And what is interesting here is by the time that I identify what are my primary and my secondary tasks, I just and here is the difference. I don't find time. I create time on my calendar. So I create exactly calendar blocks for
yep.
primary tasks and secondary tasks there. You know, because it's not just meetings. It's not just ad hoc stuff. I don't know. Maybe I am too strict on this, but I am someone that really needs structure to get
Mm-mm-mm.
things done. And this was a way to, as you mentioned, to control my mind and to focus on the right thing. You know, and the right thing, it can be done by me or it can be done by you.
Yeah, yeah.
And I know what is getting done by you because I have this backed on my things. You know.
Yeah, 100%. So you've got also a kind of control, like, or at least I know that this person is doing this task. Okay, cool. So you've got that control, and then offer you trust your people, and then you empower them. So you're sure that they will
Yeah.
do a good job. And then if they've got problems, they can come back to you, have a little chat,
Exactly.
and because that's the way, if that makes sense. Okay, I'm really glad that this, everything, it seems like that everything is coming together, right? All these
Yeah, it
things
is.
are finally all the pieces of the puzzle. So the puzzle start to make sense, which is
That's true.
pretty
That's true.
pretty cool. So what's next then? So you've got, let's just 1 second. So first book is out. So
It's
what the
out.
first book it is about? What's that about?
So first book, the leadership engineering leadership playbook.
Nice. Yep.
Yeah, you're it's coming. It's on the
Yeah,
way.
I know. Appreciate that. I've got a copy.
Uh,
Nice. Looking forward to that.
and basically, the book express this philosophy that I have from people centric, customer centricity, and the idea to make tech leaders less techy and more business and people oriented, So here I will explain different ways of different leadership styles.
Hmm.
Like some of them, it's what you already know, but I have something very special here regarding situational leadership, which is the model that I use on my daily basis. I share some tips for coaching and mentoring, but the cherry here is the approach for performance improvement and performance review.
People.
Yeah,
Mhm.
it's managing people from the roots. So if you are a tech lead and you have no clue on how to create a professional development plan or how to establish expectations to raise the bar in terms of excellence of your team, take a look on the book. We have 2 chapters dedicated only for people management and performance management. It's really nice.
This is something that really I cannot understand. We've got certifications for every single thing. AWS, Google, this, Java. You can be certified in everything. Managing people is like,
Yeah.
yeah, go figure that out. Like, what is the most important thing? So it's like, whoa, there is so, we need so much more in terms of resources, certification, call it how you want. But that's what I'm really baffled by that. So it's great to hear that is people can found that in your book. So what about, because we are unfortunately almost out of time, what is about the new one then? Can you hint something, can you
Yeah,
spoil
yeah.
something for us?
The new one basically is the guideline of my career advancement coaching. So this career
Mm,
advancement coaching, the main goal here is to polarize, I would say, this strategy as much as possible. And this will come from this new book. Like it's a 3-step process. Each step of the process requires a set of commitments, a set of exercises, as I said, to
mm,
identify values, discover your worth, and etc. Creating a compelling CV, optimizing your LinkedIn profile to create visibility exposure, and what I call the game day. The game dates when you have the interviews like tech, behavioral, cultural, and you start applying the Strive framework there. So this book will be a compilation of everything that surrounds at some degree this program, dedicated for tech professionals that want a career advancement or find a new job, or someone from a different career path that wants to transition to the tech path. Yet, like the examples and everything else will be focused on tech.
yeah.
But I would say that this is a timeless resource and transversal at
It
some
can be
degree for all the
applied to
cases.
definitely
Yeah,
different
it can.
industries, different, absolutely right.
Yeah.
Last thing, I want to leave you with this thought. Like, of course, I know, even though if you've managing your time quite efficiently now, clearly the time is a finite resource, right? So have you ever thought about creating a community uh,
I
around these things?
Yeah, I'm thinking about that, but honestly, being super clear here, I have no idea on how to implement the amount of ideas I have on my mind. But yeah, I would love to create a community for that.
Yeah, that's a very interesting thing, because at the end of the day, that can really be a way, not yeah, a way to scale this. But once
Mhm.
again, not scale because I want to be rich. Is scaling meaning helping more people, you know what I mean? And clearly,
Mhm.
one-to-one sessions, do, you
Doesn't
can
scale.
have that
Yeah.
that many. You,
No,
instead of
no.
helping 5 people, you can help 7. Okay, fine. But I mean, so the community aspect can be an interesting one
Yeah. Yeah.
to perhaps explore.
I I do have like a live cohort. It's a short, like for people that cannot commit for a long-term mentorship program on this sense and etc. I am doing some live cohorts specifically for this career advancement
Mm,
program. The next one will start on September 3rd. Now it's the last one from the
yep.
summer.
Yep.
So, and by the way, if you allow me, I would like to provide your audience here with a coupon code. So I will
Absolutely.
send you later on.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh,
I will publish it on the ChatGDG LinkedIn page.
awesome. But yet it's not scalable. Like it's a live cohort for 10, 15 people, but that's
That's
it.
it.
It's limited.
No, I think the community aspect can be an interesting one. Also, I'm thinking of, I'm doing a little bit more something target towards the students with the
Mhm.
GDG
Ah,
Academy.
nice. I
Yeah.
already dropped you a message. I am waiting your invitation. No pressure. But
Okay.
I already mentioned you that I would love to help you on this,
Hundred
mentoring some
percent.
students.
Yeah, yeah. 100% is really fun. It's really cool, and I'm the one learning. I mentor students, and I learn so much. So it's really good fun.
It's great.
So yeah, yeah, yeah. Definitely. Let's circle back on that very very soon. Cool. Yeah, my friend. Time flies. Super
Yes.
interesting conversation. 1 hour just went by. Maybe we have to do a part three at some point in the future when the second, the third, and the fourth books are out. Okay.
Awesome. Awesome. I really appreciate, man, for the invitation to join you once again. It's a
Yeah,
pleasure.
thank you. It
It's
was
always a
super
pleasure.
interesting, and you've been up quite a lot of things, very positive things. So yeah, keep doing what you're doing. Pretty much, you are definitely on the right track.
Likewise, man. Thank you so much.
Cheers, and